Good afternoon. Here is the national news from BGI TV Current. I am Mori Rabila Lawal. First are the major headlines. Senate indicts Budget Office over illegal 19 billion naira payments. 272 judgment delivered in Supreme Court in 7 months, CJN. Political parties insist on rec removal ahead of Adamawa Gobo supplementary election. And in sports, NJF picks May 13 for National Judo Open Championship. Now the news in detail. The Budget Office of the Federation has been indicted for releasing 19 billion naira to 4 unnamed agencies without approval of the Ministry of Finance, the Senate has revealed. This is contained in the 2016 report of the Auditor General of the Federation adopted by the Senate. According to the AGF, the Budget Office violated extant financial regulations when it released the 19 billion naira without approval. In addition to the indictment, the Senate directed the Budget Office to retrieve the money from the 4 MDAs and return it to the ministry. The Senate had, in October 2022, commenced the investigation into the alleged payment of the sum. However, during the investigation by the Senate Public Accounts Committee, the Budget Office was unable to present evidence of approval from the service-wide vote to the 4 agencies. The Budget Office, in its response to a query by the AUGF, claimed that it had written the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation requesting for details about the 4 MDAs without response. The Matthew Ugeri-led Senate Committee noted that the Budget Office did not present the letter it purported to have written to the Office of the Auditor General requesting for these said details. Going on to the next story. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, says the Supreme Court has so far delivered 272 judgments in the 2022/2023 legal year. He said these in a statement while felicitating Nigerian Christian and Muslim faithful on this year's Easter celebration and the ongoing Ramadan. The CJN noted that the judgments were delivered in civil, criminal, and election-related cases. He counseled both Christians and Muslims to use the 2 occasions to pray for continued peace and tranquility in the country. It's with gratitude to Almighty Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, the most benevolent of His grace at this season when both Christians and Muslims all over the globe are fasting and calling on Almighty God for protection and blessings that I express my greetings to all. I want to specifically appreciate and acknowledge my brother Justice who have delivered 272 judgments in the normal civil, criminal, and election-related appeals under immense pressure. I wish the Christians faithful a joyous Easter and Muslim Ummah a rewarding Ramadan and Eid al-Fitr, the CJN concluded. Going on to the next story from Adamawa. The Inter-Party Advisory Council IPAC Adamawa chapter has insisted on its call for the replacement of the INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner ahead of the state supplementary governorship election. Bello Babajo, the IPAC state chairman, said these at the news conference on Sunday in Yola. The IPAC chair further called on the Adamawa people to conduct themselves peacefully during the governorship election rerun in the state on April 15th. We, however, stand on our earlier call for the replacement of the resident electoral commissioner before the supplementary election, Mr. Babajo said. IPAC also called on security agencies to take action against the state chairman of the Conference of Nigeria Political Party, CNPP, Jafaru Jire, for claiming to be the chairman of different political parties. According to Mr. Babajo, Mr. Jafaru is also misleading the public by saying there are 32 political parties in the state instead of 18. He added to our greatest shock and surprise on the 7th April 2023, when Comrade Jire made a misleading statement that will bring chaos in Adamawa State, which might lead to the destruction of lives and property. Mr. Babajo stressed that such a statement should not come from him as the Secretary of PCRC, and therefore we call on Comrade Jafaru Jire to discontinue such misleading statements as a matter of urgency. Mr. Babajo also urged the public to disregard groups not recognized in Adamawa and Nigeria, stating, again, the public should know that we have 18 political parties and not 32, as claimed by Comrade Jirei. Moving on to the next story, the bandits who kidnapped 85 people in Wenzamei village in the Safi local government area of Zamfara state have finally agreed to collect 20,000 naira on each of the victims. They also asked the authorities to withdraw soldiers from the village as part of the conditions for the release of the abductees. They gave 12 midnight of Sunday as the deadline, threatening to kill any victim who failed to pay the money on or beyond the stipulated time. They threatened that unless the military personnel deployed in Wenzamei village were withdrawn, they would continue to kidnap the villagers. An indigent of the area, Albert Allah, claims in a telephone conversation that the bandits had sent a message that they would collect only 20,000 naira each from the abductees, considering their financial status. Now Allah said the bandit earlier demanded a sum of 50 million naira to release the 85 people they have kidnapped, who are mostly women and children, who went to the forest to get firewood last Friday. To end the national news is a sports story. The Nigeria Judo Federation (NJF) at the weekend disclosed that the National Judo Open Championship would hold from May 13 to 21st at the Delta State University Delsu Sports Complex, Abraka. According to NJF President Musa Oshiri, the Judo Championship, aimed at discovering fresh talent in the sport, will also serve as trials for players representing the country at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games qualifiers, billed for the Niger Republic in early June. The Niger Republic Championship, according to Oshodi, is one of the 2024 Olympics qualifiers Team Nigeria will participate in this year. The National Judo Open in Delta State will bring all judokas across Nigeria together to compete in all categories of the sport, including cadet, junior, senior, and all age grades. Oshodi said the NJF is striving to groom more talent from the grassroots and also expose the experienced stars to more competitions to keep them abreast with modern rudiments of the sport. NJF Secretary James Ekins said the certificate would be awarded to participants at the end of the program. That ends the national news from BGI TV Currents. Before we go, some major headlines. Senate indicts budget office over illegal 19 billion naira payments. 272 judgments delivered in Supreme Court in 7 months, CJN. Lastly, NJF picks May 13th for National Judo Open Championship. For more updates on YouTube, our handle is BGI TV Currents. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access our broadcast. On Facebook, Bagide Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and functions, both outdoors, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen. I am Morire Rebila Lawa. Good afternoon.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.